Thanks, everybody. Hey, look, it's our next writer, Shain, everybody! After Jason, we will have our featured writer, Casey Jones. Jason comes to us from Belmore, New York. Belmore, New York! Hey, way to Canada. So, a friend of mine had a shirt that had a picture of North America, and the Canada part was in red, and it said, Canada, America's hat. Jason has lived here in Nashville for 9 years. Hey. I'm a middle child. I need a lot of attention. You can find Jason at jasonshain.com. That's spelled S-H-A-I-N. jasonshain.com. His favorite color, slightly charred sienna. That's 3 times this month we've had that one. His lucky number, 4. First time this month. And his favorite April Fool prank that actually is the first of his intimate encounters. He convinced his parents that he was adopted. That sounds more like something that happened in Mississippi. Please welcome the very talented Jason Shain, everybody!
This was not a family-friendly show. That was the perfect opportunity to tell the Aristocrats joke. If you don't know what that is and you have unfillable void to hear Bob Saget say the F word, you should rent that movie immediately. If not, still sipping from a can of Pabst Blue Ribbon, waiting on my turn to sing some song, when I saw beneath a Stetson a country music legend was sitting there beside me all along. Well, I knew he'd caught me staring through the bottles in the mirror when he turned and asked me, "Son, how do you do?" And I watched him notice my guitar still in its case against the bar. He politely laughed and said, "I've been there too." Yeah, broke down, stranded, heavy-hearted, empty-handed. I spit back in the faces of my failures and defeat. It's a long, hard road. It's a long, hard road. A long, hard road to Easy Street. Rivers, mountains, desert sands, found nothing but more empty land. Gone out to my wits' end and back again. Through big cities and small country towns, I've built and burnt some bridges down, close to packing up and giving in. I've been broke down, stranded, heavy-hearted, empty-handed. I spit back in the faces of my failures and defeat. It's a long, hard road. Sip of his 18-year-old whiskey. He bought my drinks and said he had to go. Yeah, I gotta go. 'Cause outside his car was waiting, and later on his band was playing. A little further down along the road, I've been broke down, stranded, heavy-hearted, empty-handed. I spit back in the faces of my failures and defeat. It's a long, hard road. A long, hard road, it's a long, hard road to Easy Street. It's a long, hard road. A long, hard road, it'll wear holes in your soul. a little more guitar if you're back there. Just a hair more, please. And I said, are we almost there? He just looked at me and sort of laughed, like it was exactly what he had been expecting me to ask. My father was a quiet man, but there were certain things he'd always say, like you can't get where you're going without knowing what to do along the way. Funny how with all the years a memory can disappear. Maybe one got washed away with every tear I've cried, even though I can't recall where we went that day at all. I know I never will forget the ride. I remember when the roads were clear, he let me put my hands on the wheel, making me a memory all the time on earth could never steal. And we rewound a hard day's night till I knew every word to that old song. And he smiled when my arms went wild at truckers that we passed to blast their horn. Funny how with all the years a memory can disappear. Maybe one got washed away with every tear I've cried, even though I can't recall where we went that day at all. I know I never will forget the ride. I could see us coming home and Mama waiting for us at the door. Hear her ask if we had fun, and Daddy winked his eye and said for sure. And for the longest time I thought I'd made some secret pact that day with him. But now looking back I think that little wink was for the two of them. Funny how with all the years a memory could disappear. Maybe one got washed away with every tear I've cried, even though I can't recall where we went that day at all. I know I never will forget the ride. I know I never will forget the ride. Was not kidding about that $5 of gas at a time thing. And I needed gas to get here, and I blew out the reed of this next harp, so we'll see how it goes, because
hey, I got $5, bro.
A lot more than gas, and I needed to get here. This is called I Struck Gold. Steal one from Woody Guthrie. I don't do much co-writing, so if I'm going to write one with someone, it might as well be with you. I left home at 21. I was bound to find my fortune and my fame. Found myself a cheap apartment, and I'm waiting for a day that never came. Now most likely when I die, the story of my life will not be told. For as long as I'm alive, I'll know the day I met you I struck gold. I remember how I felt as though the cards my life had dealt were only good for nothing. I was just about to fold. You turned up, God bless your soul, like an ace down in the hole. I laid my heart out on the line and I struck gold. Now the upside of being down is that I learned the greatest lesson of them all. It ain't how hard you hit the ground, it's that you keep on getting up each time you fall. Now that's the measure of a man, as sure as love's the greatest gift that he could give. And the best of our good fortune will be treasured for as long as we should live. I remember how it felt as though the cards my life had dealt were only good for nothing. I was just about to fold. You turned up, God bless your soul, like an ace down in the hole. Made my heart out on the line and I struck gold. I was lost, I felt forgotten, I was sure I'd hit rock bottom. I dug a little deeper and struck gold. I remember how it felt as though the cards my life had dealt were only good for nothing. I was just about to fold. You turned up, God bless your soul, like an ace down in the hole. Made my heart out on the line and I struck gold. You turned up, God bless your soul, like an ace down in the hole. I laid my heart out on the line and I struck gold. I laid my heart out on the line and I struck gold.
Jason Shain, everybody! Jason Shain, everybody! All right, you guys are so smart. Look at this full room.